We're Novel Nature.
And you're watching Only Pop Culture.
The two of you introduce yourselves for us. Let the fans know who's talking.
My name's Emerson, I'm the drummer.
And I'm Shane, and I sing and play other instruments.
How did the two of you meet?
We go way back, actually. Shane and I, especially as friends since the 4th grade. Both 25 now.
We met in line going into Miss Fernald's 4th grade class.
That's how we met. Shane was a musician, and I was absolutely not. And I guess he kind of introduced me to the world of playing music. And Shane was a drummer, and he invited me to his church. And I saw him play the drums. I thought it was awesome. I had him teach me a little bit. That Christmas, I got a drum set. And just kind of went from there. And eventually Shane...
Then Emerson got better than me, and I had to learn other instruments.
and then Shane moved to guitar and songwriting, and that's the story.
How old were you guys when you actually started performing together?
When we were...
12.
Yeah, 10, 11, or 12.
We were really
We
young.
say the word performance loosely, but we had a band called Offset, and the short version of a long story is Emerson's mom set up a show for us at an open mic. So we thought it was a show. Really, it was just an open mic. She made T-shirts for us, and they said the band name
for us, not for our fans.
So usually bands make T-shirts and sell them to fans, but we wore our own T-shirts
on stage
like bosses.
Yeah,
and that's it. So that was the first time we played live.
But Shane and I have been writing songs together since we're about 10 or 11. So we started really young.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did you come up with the name Novel Nature?
I chose a bad time to eat a mambo.
Of course. It's not very deep. We got on the topic of the Northwest and somehow got stuck on N words. Honestly, that sounds really bad, but
good N words.
Words that begin with the letter N, and then we got to the word Navajo somehow, and then that led us to the word novel, and we really liked the idea of the use of the word novel. I think
in the adjective sense.
Yeah.
I guess we haven't posted. This will be good. We haven't officially posted how we got the name or exactly what it means, but we kind of combined novel and nature, and they're kind of the alternate meanings of both words. So it's novel in the adjective sense, meaning like unique or new or like
sincere.
Yeah, sincere. It's like having a novel idea is like having a brand new, different idea. And nature, meaning somebody's nature. So we like the combination of a unique, new nature of somebody. So a novel nature.
Two appropriate N-words.
Yeah. And they just kind of phonetically flowed well together.
So how would you describe your music?
A very wide spectrum. A lot of bands are very pointed and in one specific genre, but I feel like we definitely cross genres. Since it's just Shane and I, and we write and record everything ourselves, we kind of indulge in whatever mood we're in at the moment, whether that be like really raw, rock and roll, or whether that be a more electric sense.
I'd say it tends to be, although that's absolutely true, it tends to be really rhythmic because both of us started as drummers, and Emerson still plays drums, and he contributes, more to the music than just with drums. So it's really rhythmic, but also very ethereal. So very spacey, but rhythmic. So I think that's the best way I would put it. Fat and pretty at the same time.
Yeah.
Fat as in full, not fat,
What's your favorite song to perform?
Great question.
We actually, with this band, we're just gearing up for our first live show, our CD release. This band evolved from a project we were in before that toured all over the world, and so we've played a lot with that band. These songs we've actually yet to play live, like on a stage in front of people, which is something, of course, we're looking forward to doing. But I'd say so far our favorite, well, I guess we'd have to give a separate answer. I imagine my favorite to play live would be probably Heroin for myself. So.
Yeah, we'll go with Heroin.
I kind of touched on this, but your fans were asking online if you have plans to tour soon and when your EP might be coming out.
As far as the EP, I imagine we'll be releasing that in early May at this point, late March, early May, so very soon. Oh, I'm sorry, early April or late May. So with
March. Is this month?
I'm drunk.
We're in the month of March,
yes.
right? Yeah.
This is March.
Really quick. Late this month. This month is March.
Yeah.
For everyone who wants to know.
Yeah.
Or early next month, which is April.
Yes.
So within about a month, we haven't set a date yet because, and our fans know this already, but I'll say we set a date actually late last year when we were on track, and long story short, we had a hard drive crash that had our whole record on it, and the studio that we work out of flooded. So that just put us on hold. It was all at once, too. It was a really interesting time. So, again, there's more that goes with that story, but we weren't able to release at that time. But it's been for the better, and a lot of opportunities have opened, and we believe that everything happens for a reason. So we're good and excited. EP will be released within about a month. I'd say at this point, early April is probably more realistic. Yeah. And then I'd say we'll plan to do the CD release show right then, around April, and then hopefully plan to do some touring this summer, I think is our plan. So.
Yeah.
What inspired the song 1937?
That's a great question.
It started as something else. The music just had kind of a heavy emotional feel, and so lyrically it started to come out as kind of this heartbroken love song, and then before I was finished, we had kind of a mutual adopted grandpa. I say kind of, definitely a mutual adopted grandpa, and he was dying of cancer. And so at the very time we were finishing that in the studio were his last few days. And so somehow, honestly, the song just kind of morphed from being this heartbroken love song into being about him. And it just made sense. I didn't really even have to change it. But so that's the answer. I guess if he hadn't passed away, the answer would be different. But all of a sudden that song we just knew, like, oh, that's about Papa Dave. Mm-hmm. And so that's it.
I'll fill you on a little nugget in the song. There's a distorted voice that comes in the background at the very end of the song, and that was the last thing we put in the song before it was finished. And it's actually an iPhone recording, like a voice memo recording of Papa Dave on his deathbed saying a little prayer for Shane and I.
Yeah.
And so it's a little bit of a personal ode for us.
Yeah.
And to him.
Okay, and then there's always this thing we do at the end of an interview. You have one sentence to recruit any non-fans, turn them into fans. Ready? Go.
Man, that's a tough one.
Especially to go on print. That's something I don't want to just. I don't want to go out and be like, I love my dad.
I'd say our music's fat and pretty, and it'll be your favorite.